welcome back to me. Welcome back to Thailand. True Blue Thai here in Thailand. I hope you're doing well. Sorry, Kat from Thailand. Sorry, it's all about sorry and Chakran Chow. Good morning, as they say in Thai. For instance, it's Parahasable D Thursday morning here in Thailand, around about 10ish, about 10:30. And sun's up. It's going to be another hot day today. So, for instance, proper summer now. For instance, 30 years, a very, very strong UV light to hit the haze and the burning season stopped. So it's all now, so the sun comes direct through. So it's if you're coming here in Thailand, you've got to really take care because you'll get sunburned like that. And if you see a lot of Thai people, for instance, like myself, I'm indoors. You can see me, I'm white, for instance, quite honestly, for instance, the sun can really make a mess of your face and your body, for instance, if you don't take care of it. I love the sun. It's one of the reasons why I'm here. But, for instance, it can really make a mess if you don't take care. Anyway, so that's Thailand for you. So, for instance, let's crack on. I just respect Thailand, lowering the... no, forget about that. Anyway, so, for instance... Happy St George's Day to the English people, for instance, around the world, in England and around the world for England's National Day. So happy St George's Day from Thailand. Hope you had a good day. For instance, two things to talk about today. For instance, too many things. We've got transfers, and we've also got what's happening at the club and the reaction of the Manchester City. The typical reaction by the media of the Manchester City's reaction of the win yesterday, a fantastic win against Aston Villa. You got the fans' reaction, the proper fans' reaction of the talking about football, and then you got the media reaction talking about how anything else other than that, or having given it that much credence. Because again, Man City won and Aston Villa lost, and they've had to rewrite their script now to find out what they're going to do. Talk about for instance, Manchester City. Anyway, so what can they bring up? Anyway, so let's move on to just to just a couple of things before I start. Happy birthday, Darren Huckabee and Stuart Pearce. Happy birthday to you guys. Birthdays. I'm not quite sure about your ages, but Stuart Pearce had that incident on the plane. For instance, Matt Glatty is doing well. Former Man City captain of Manchester, and Darren Huckabee played. Great player, for City, and I remember seeing him very well. Moving on, let's move on to transfers, which we'll talk about the reaction from the media on Man City's win. Let's talk about Nicholas Riley. It's going to quick run through these. Again, transfers, plus, minuses, and I don't know whether you can rate them, not rate them, whether you think, but let's go through them anyway. So I'm waffling on here a little bit, sorry. Nicola Riley, I believe that contract is a done deal. He's going to get a price wage hike as well, and I'm not quite sure what he's going to get. But he's going to be get a good contract, and he's for both parties are really eager to sign, and great. I'm very happy for him, and he deserves it. AC Milan, for instance, is he going, staying? But looks like he's staying. Staying at AC Milan. But they don't want to pay the £5 million, which is very stingy of them. But they'll probably meet in the middle because they're very, very. I cannot see Kyle Walker playing for Man City again. So I'm sure they'll come up with a deal. Kyle, you've been a legend for Man City. I go with my good gracious. It's a shame that, for instance, you went without, for instance, in the way you did. But salute you. Good luck with your new career. By Leverkusen, James McAtee. So it's not Sparris, and a few other people are interested in McAtee. So Pep doesn't want him to go, but for instance, whether he'll go or stay, I don't know. I would rather have him to stay because again, he's a youngster coming through to the academy, from the academy into the first team. I think he's raw. He's not the perfect striker, but I think he's contributed to City's rejuvenation of the team, and for instance, I think he should stay. But all depends on the player and how many minutes we're going to get, who we're going to get in the rebuild, etc. So I would like to see him go, but Leverkusen really, really fancy him. But and there's word that he might even think about what he want to go to Leverkusen, but I don't know. Again, So by the way, Nico O'Reilly, I'll give it a 10 out of 10. For instance, that's going to happen. AC Milan to Kyle Walker to AC Milan, I give it a 9. I expect that to go through. Live this one, I'll give it a 6. A 6 to say he's going to Leverkusen, and because I don't know, maybe Pep can persuade him to stay, but again, it's going about game time. But and also what's it called, the asking price 25, 30 million. I don't know. Kevin De Bruyne has a lot of offers. The latest is, talked about it, Chicago Fire. There's also interest from Not Forest, Aston Villa, staying in the UK. Again, I've said this 1 billion times. People think, he'll go to Saudi. He's not going to rip it. He's not going to lose his house. He wants to. He's got Kevin De Bruyne is interested in one thing. For instance, his family, right? And he's going to take his family all the way to Saudi for money. He's a rich man as it is, for instance, and it is very disappointed. I listened to the Man City podcast on Manchester Evening News, how he approached for instance, the waiting journalist in the earshot of Caldoon and the City hierarchy, but he didn't care. He just wanted to come out. I think he's devastated about leaving. He doesn't want to leave at all, but it was a business decision. Is it the money? I don't know. I don't know. I hope something can be resolved. But if he does go, it's going to be heartbreaking for me to see him go. He doesn't want to go, and if he stays in England and he does business for Aston Villa or Notts Forest or one of our competitors, I'll be gutted. And I just think we're over the step in the mark a bit. Got away with it with Sergio, for instance, but I think we need, and we've got to get the Verts thing over the line, as far as I'm concerned. If we don't, for instance, because there's news on Verts, and Verts is, yeah, I'll come back to Verts in a second. Anyway, but me personally, I don't want Kevin De Bruyne to go. I know City fans are on the shelf. Some of them, yeah, time is to go. Me personally, I don't want him to go. Ilkay Gundogan wants to stay at City. I am happy to keep him. For instance, he'll probably be a part player next season. For instance, he probably won't play us that many games, which would be ideal for him. It's what he was brought in for the first place. I think he'll be third or fourth with him and Kovacic behind Nico O'Reilly and what's it called, Rodri in midfield. But let's see. And if he plays him to the way he should, in the position he should, he'll be more effective next season than he will be this season. I hope he stays. And then I hope he goes to background staff and becomes a coach with Pep Guardiola or the City. I think he's got a lot to offer. And with the likes of Nico O'Reilly coming out and saying what he's saying, how much he's learning from Ilkay Gundogan. So I think these are important. You need important players like that. Some people have a different opinion. That's my opinion. Bernardo Silva, I don't know. He's been told he's going to leave Man City, but Benfica can't pay 50 million quid. So whether they come to an agreement, he wants to see out his contract. I think he should see out his contract. I think he, again, another vital player, can score for us, can do a job for us. Probably play less games like next season, like Ilkay Gundogan. Then I think he's still got a role to play at Man City. But I don't think he should be starting every week. But I want to see him out of his contract and go with my good graces. Desire, no, forget about that. Lucas Paqueta. There was rumours about Lucas Paqueta back at deal. I can't see that happening. Give that a 0. Ilkay Gundogan, I give him a 7. Stay City. Bernardo Silva, I give it a Stay City. I give another 7 or to Stay City. And Lucas Paqueta, I give it a 1. I don't think that's going to happen. It's a shame, really. I would love to see Paqueta at City. Also, the Gibbs White thing. City are front runners to get Gibbs White. I think I was listening to Lewis and Nobbins yesterday, for instance, and Lewis said was quite good at what he said. He was comparing the getting a Morgan Gibbs White or getting as a 128 gigabyte brand new iPhone, and knowing that, for instance, you could get for a few extra pennies more, you could get 256 giga. So is good. Morgan Gibbs White is not great. Okay, so he can do a job and he'll do a job well, but he's not great. Now, whether he could become great at Man City is open to opinion. Is he worth 100 million? No chance. So if we're going to get him, we'll get him, but he has to pay our price, which is reasonable, a good price. And we're not going to be. I don't want to be held to ransom to buy Notts Forest. So get him at a decent price, but we're not paying 100 million quid for Morgan Gibbs, right? No chance. But would I be upset not to see it happen? No. Do I think it's going to happen? Again, I give it a 7. It could happen. There's a lot more interested, a lot more people coming out. But again, for instance, it's all about the price. And Man City not going to pay 100 million quid. Forget it. Not happening. Florian Wirtz, this was the Florian Wirtz thing. Paul pays out, what's it called, the contract. He might be on £450,000 a week at Man City. That's just ridiculous. What's it called? They're going out and out to get him. Could be 150,000, 150 million to get him. His father still wants him to stay at Munich, Muchen, for instance, which his father's his agent. So what's it called? But he's been impressed by Manchester City's desire for him. We've got to get it over the line if we're going to let Kev go. Me, for instance, it's a big gamble, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But again, what do you think is going to happen? Give it a 7. I think, and again, for instance, his father is German. I don't know. Alonso goes to Madrid. Who knows? There's many pluses and minuses on that one yet. Still yet to go. Cambiasso. I still think the Cambiasso deal will go through. I'm going to give that an 8. I think what's it called, regardless, because we still need. We can't have go into the new season without left and right backs, and this guy is very versatile, midfield and left and right back. So we need. I think it'd be an ideal for City. I know he's 28, so what's it called? But I believe this will go through for City. So I hope it. So I think that's a done deal. I'm going to give it an 8. If they can bring in the price, we can get him for about 50, 60 million, etc. I think 50 million, what's the wheel? I think is a done deal. But I know they wanted 70 and City weren't going to pay for that. But I think that'll go through. He's a versatile player, play left, right, and central defence. And, Man City want that. And Pep wants that. And a midfielder as well, just in case we have another injury hit season. We've got to think about injuries. We can have another. I don't think it may not happen. You might get guys sat on the bench, might not happy, but it's just the way it is. That's finishing with the the transfers. There was other transfer news, but we'll see. Talk about Ederson getting linked with Al Hilal. Is that going to happen? For instance, but it'd be a shame to see him. I would rather keep him, but again, because we're going to get that guy from Porto. For instance, I believe looks to be progressing. Yeah, Alot had approached Ederson, so but we'll see when it's all right approaching him. Let's see the colour of your money before you start saying anything. Yeah, 63 years old. Stuart Pearce. Happy birthday to you. Right. Okay. So. Just listened to an amazing podcast from LB Lewis, and he was talking about with the 1894 about the season cards. It was quite a break, upsetting really, about for instance how it's going with the season cards. Diego Costa, the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's upsetting with the season cards. Now, again, for instance, for instance. I do believe the club will listen. Something needs to be sorted out. There really is. I do believe they will come to it. There's going to be another protest against the Wolves game for 6 minutes. I think it was 6 years since the last time they released season cards. I think that's the reason why. They need to listen to the fans, and I think they will. The club will. They'll come to an agreement in some way. But they can't. They need to, do more. For instance, and I can see the disconnect, and it's not just with Man City fans; it's with others as well. There's a lot to it, and I don't want to go spend too much time on it too much. But I also urge the Manchester City fans not to go on the likes of Talksport and Sky Sports and slag off the club in any way whatsoever. It's not Man City against the club in any way whatsoever. It is a City against, for instance, we have a disagreement. But for instance, because again, Talksport will twist and turn it, and you might be thinking you might have a valid point going on, but they're not your friends. Yeah, I was listening to what's it called, the after evening show yesterday, and I said I listened with the late show, for instance, with Jason Cundy and the other one, Jamie O'Hara, and there was a City fan going on talking about a City fan selling tickets for £10, and I think he's kind of he was right, what's it called, but he was wrong. But also, for instance, so he's got his facts wrong a little bit. And this guy's getting into trouble now because he's trying to do the right decent thing by selling tickets at a decent price, etc., for fans. So, and he was kind of, but the way you could put it, again, these guys, O'Hara and the other guy, for instance, they don't care. And Talksport don't care. They don't care. If you're going to go over there and talk slag off Man City, they'll do, or even go there with a point. They're going to come back to you, and then they are going to twist and turn it. The headline yesterday wasn't the fact that Manchester City beat Aston Villa. Was the fact that what's it called? The empty had and a row over season cards and tickets. Now, every club at the moment, even United fans with their £66 and blah, 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 is having problems with the clubs and the cost of season cards and season tickets. But the mere fact that Man City beat Aston Villa yesterday, suddenly, because it's not about that anymore, it's about the fact that the headline became the empty seats and the empty ad and blah, blah, blah. You know, and the twist and the turn, the Jordan thinking Man City fans are a privileged and elite. And Jason Cundy came out and said, well, if you go to a London show, wouldn't that cost you at least £100 or something like that, going to a ticket? Now, sorry, do you go to a London show, you know, in every week? Is that what you do, for instance? You know, in they don't care. They don't care, and suddenly you become the headline. You become a thumbnail to or you be on their YouTube channel, gaining likes and likes and likes. So gaining more money, because they'll twist and turn, for instance, your valid point. So you've got to be careful what you say when you go jump onto these onto this TV, this radio station, and what they say. Because they'll twist and turn it against Manchester City. How Jordan says, Man City, I need to sit there and respect the fact that, for instance, we wouldn't be able to afford the players if it wasn't for season card tickets or the rise in the season card, which is absolute garbage. Because everybody knows that the money, a lot of the income comes from sponsorships, from shirt sponsorships, from what's it called, selling, TV rights. That's where the money comes. The money comes, income revenue coming from the fans is only is a small amount compared to the money we get from TV, from sponsorships, from all kinds of stuff. You know, what's it called, outside. That is where the main money comes from. So Jordan can shut his gob because he doesn't know nothing, and he's just an excuse to slag off Manchester City because we beat Villa, and now suddenly, for instance, it's not about football anymore. We need to start talk about, for instance, like what can we do to talk about City, which I knew it. And it might yesterday, if you listen to me yesterday, you'll know that media is now had to expect to slag off Man City because they expected Villa to win, and now Man City have won. It's not about the football anymore. Let's talk about the MTF. Let's talk about the season card and tickets. And then when you're a City fan and you're going over there and they're asking for Man City fans' opinion, and it's not your opinion they want you to do. So it's a club against the fans. So they want to create that, and they sat in the middle. It's like a fight to a bully. What's it called? Creating a fight between two people, and then sitting back and going, they don't care. So please, I'm urging City fans not to go over and to onto I like to talk sport and play whatever. To sit there and to slag off, even though you have a perfect example, mate. If you're like 1894, if you're for instance, like part of the City Matters group or something like that, who have got a good, who can really put the thing across, the whole thing across. But if you're me personally, it'd be terrible for me to go on because I'm too emotional, and I'll be, it'll come across as me slagging off the club. And it's not that. You need to be more measured in what you say, because they'll twist and turn your comments, and then and suddenly, for instance, it's about the Man City fans against the club, and it's nothing to do. It's not like that. It's not. We absolutely appreciate everything what's happened at Manchester City, but I can't give ammunition to the likes of Talksport, the likes of Slide Sports News, the likes of whatever, because they don't care. You know, they're in there. They you know, oh, is that all it costs? And then they'll compare it because there seems to be comparing it to the cost of the NFL at the moment. And you know, I'm sorry. You know, well, if you go to the NFL, it's going to cost this much. You know, again, if you go to the concert, it's going to cost this much. It's if you go to whatever, they don't realize they're understanding how much how the fact that, for instance, the price rises or cost of living prices, or cost of whatever, and the difference in prices between the north and the south. But also, for instance, you're listening to the teams, but it's not much Man City complain about the ticket prices. It's all the clubs fans complain about the ticket prices. What was it? They were talking about they were talking to Aston Villa fans, and they were paying £81 for Bologna tickets. Aston Villa, you know, for the Champions League. You know, it's just ridiculous. So you know, but be careful about what you say if you go to Talksport because they're not your mates in any way. The Southern-based media are not your mates. They don't care. All they want to do is use it to another bat to hit Manchester City over the head with. Okay, because they're jealous. Simple as that. City are winning, their clubs are not. They're jealous. Okay, so there you go. That's all I've got to say. But you know, again, you know, gotta be careful about what you say to the bloody media. Can't stand this son of a bitches. Really can't. Anyway, so I'm gonna get going. True Blue Dive from Thailand. I'll talk to you tomorrow. We got the game Sunday. So, for instance, well, I don't know if I heard from Pep. Probably maybe the first part of the press conference, and we have to wait till the next day. But we got Wembley. If you're going to Wembley, well, John, enjoy yourself. Again, another massive to the Etihad South, but another amazing cost for the City fans. And yeah, so for instance, yeah. But anyway, True Blue Dive from Thailand. Like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. What's the goal? You might agree with me, disagree with me. Be respectful. But I'll speak to you tomorrow, and let's hopefully the club and the fans can get together and we can talk about this, and which I feel we will. Anyway, so congratulations to Man City in a fantastic win. I know it was biblical. There was a girl on CNBC saying, almost feel sorry for Manchester City celebrating in the way they did, celebrating reaching the Champions League for qualifications. I feel sorry for Manchester City, like it's a tiny thing. If you think it's a tiny thing, you look at the two managers. Pep Guardiola's reaction to that goal and Unai Emery's reaction to that goal. Okay? And you say to me it was a little thing in that game. That was a massive win. Thank you, Matthias Nunes. Thank you, Doku. Thank you, Manchester City players. And Pep, everything. And yeah, come on, City. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Sorry, Cat from Thailand. And yeah, take care.